Hello again, everyone, and welcome back to Dram That's Good Scotch Reviews. It's been a long time since the last episode. Uh, Sorry about that. It's been, it's been a complicated time for everybody, I like to think, since the last time I uploaded something. And I know one of my big points was going to be like, hey, we're all in quarantine. I'm going to start recording a lot more videos and start sharing more content because you're all trapped inside just like I am. But I'm self-employed, I do my own gigs, so for me this has not been all that different. I've been actually a lot busier, which I did not expect. But the sad thing is that despite being busier, I have not been able to upgrade my recording studio yet. That this is Warren Work Studios here right behind me, and that means that I'm still recording on the computer, which sucks. But just like my cooking show videos, I've got a better recording piece of equipment that I'm going to start using. I gotta rig up a system here in front of me so I can actually record like staring straight on into the camera. But that is not my number one priority right now. My number one priority is just getting some videos out there and getting back to doing what I love, which is doing Scotch reviews and telling you guys if something tastes good and if it's worth your money. So, right now, I hope you're all safe in quarantine. And if you do need to go get yourself a fix, please, of course, follow guidelines and shit when you're outside. And don't get too close to people because, being too close to people sucks as it is. I'm not antisocial, but I'm the kind of person who likes my social distance to begin with. So, safely, if you can, go out and get yourselves a bottle of Laphroaig 18. I'm telling you, man, this stuff is amazing. This is a favorite of mine. And I've noticed that it is much, much harder to find these days. I'm trying to remember exactly what the deal is. I know there was something that they stopped doing the 18-year bottling. But I was fortunate enough to have purchased a bottle before that happened. Back then it was about $63 a pop at Binny's in Chicagoland. And at that price point, that was an incredible deal. I know I'm kind of going out of order here. Normally it's like, oh, hey, tell us about the drink and then tell us if it's worth the price. I'm just cutting right to the chase. If you can find a bottle of this stuff, pretty much any vintage, you should. It's really, really good. And I'm a peat head, so I know I'm biased. But let's go ahead and get past the peat, pour a glass of this stuff, and I'll tell you exactly why it is that I think it's so good. Because it's not as simple as just being smoky. That's a big misconception about peat bombs, is everyone's like, oh, it's a peat bomb, so you just want it for the smoke. Like, no, this actually really earns its praise. Straight from the back of the bottle, the first taste is an oak sweetness gained from 18 years maturing in an ex-bourbon barrel. And you do get a lot of that vanilla and caramel sweetness on the front of this one. I know from experience. But I'm going to drink it and pretend I didn't know that. As usual, fantastic amber color. God, I love that I could just sit here and stare at this stuff all day and it's a lot of fun, honestly. But if you're gonna take time to enjoy this one, it is a little bit heavy and it's the middle of summer right now, so maybe not the best time to be enjoying something super thick and super peaty. But me personally, at the end of the day, I can get through. I can get through a glass of this stuff. And you can see, people question about age statements sometimes. The legs on this are incredibly slow moving. I don't know if the camera's picking those up, but very, very slow developing legs. Nice oils in there. And as soon as you open the bottle, your wife upstairs is telling you that she thinks the house is on fire. That's how you know it's good. The nose is almost spicy on this. What's funny is normally when I get a peated nose, I don't get a spicy feel. I know some people refer to it that way. I don't usually get that inclination, as it were. But for me, I get fruit, spice, and smoke, pretty much in that order off the nose. Uh, Absolutely. If Laphroaig isn't making a candle line yet, why not? That they're missing a golden opportunity by doing that. But let's. It's been a while since I've allowed myself to treat having a glass of scotch at all. It's not like I've been drinking I haven't been drinking a ton of scotch and not reviewing this stuff and putting the videos up. I just haven't been drinking much because I'm trying to cut down a little bit here. So since I'm taking this opportunity and I haven't enjoyed one of these in a while, let's see if it's as good as my memory's telling me here. That is still fantastic. Go figure. It it's hard to it's hard to overstate how this is not something super complex and deep. I think there's a double-ended spectrum, so to speak, when it comes to tasting scotches. You have those ones that are so simple that there's nothing special about them, and people think they're good because nothing challenges them. And then you have ones that are way too overly complex, and they're like, well, you just don't have a developed enough palate to understand why this is good. This sits perfectly in the middle of being something that is easy to understand why it's so enjoyable with just one sip. It's smoke right up front. There's no way you're going to miss it. You're not going to dodge that. So if you don't like the peat, you're not going to enjoy this. But it is immediately sweet, especially if it hits the middle and the back of the tongue. Immediately sweet stuff and immediately delicious stuff. I don't know what fruit I'm getting. Again, I'm not that talented that I can say, oh, I know exactly what fruit note that is. But it starts with the vanilla and the caramel. It's an ex-bourbon fill, so you're going to get vanilla, you're going to get caramel. But there is a little bit of fruit at the back end of the tongue as well. That's very pleasant because, you don't want to have just one note of sweetness. There are different levels of sweetness, and this one is very balanced in the way that the smoke hits the sweet all kind of at once, and it just creates a very pleasant sip that honestly, I never get tired of this. I'm lucky enough to have just under half a bottle left sitting here with me, and I'm hoping it survives the rest of the quarantine time with me because it's getting hard to sit here not every night having it in the cabinet and not drink it. It's really good stuff. But I'm not going to sit here and gush too much more because honestly, I don't know. When it comes to one like this, there's not a whole lot more to say. Very simple, very straightforward. Smoke, sweet, amazing, all the way through. And honestly, you like peat, you're going to enjoy it. You like peat and sweet, you're definitely going to enjoy it. You don't like that stuff, pass on this bottle. If you can find it again, at the time that I bought it was about 63, probably like 67 after tax. These days, because it is not, to the best of my knowledge, being bottled anymore, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But if you can find it in that price range, that low 60s, mid 70s, absolutely. Go get yourself a bottle of this stuff. Make it last a couple of months for you. It's a hell of an investment, and I promise you will not regret it. Thank you guys so much again for tuning back in. I promise there's more content coming much more consistently soon here. Much better recording quality, not this sort of stop motion-y stuff that I got going on right now. Better audio returns as well. And of course, check out all of my stuff on Warren Works Studios. Dram That's Good has become part of the Warren Works Studios portfolio, so, if you like watching people drink scotch, I got that for you. You want to watch a sarcastic cooking channel, I got that for you. You want motivational videos, from companies telling you to work out and stuff, got that for you. But if all you're here for is the Dram, thank you so much for showing up anyway. Links below for you guys to get some more exclusive content if you're interested. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And remember, the best way to enjoy your scotch is in a glass. Cheers, everyone.